Hello everyone, I'm Claire Fernandez, your digital marketing specialist, and welcome to Task 1.1. This is Module 1 task video. So I'd like to say thank you to Flapscope for providing us these slides. Introduction to the online industry. So what you learned today? First, what is online industry? Number two, who's benefiting from it? Then next, we've got what are the opportunities available? The business model. How can anyone get his share in the opportunities available? Where can people start? What is a virtual assistant? Common tools used, common services offered, and various opportunities online. So I hope you're ready now. First, what is the online industry? Of course, the internet or online industry consists of small, medium, and big companies or individuals that provide a wide variety of products and services primarily online through their websites. The operations include but are not limited to search engines, retailers, travel services, among others. Product or service offerings vary widely within the industry. What are the popular business models? So we have here the guru, retail, and subscription. When we say guru, it means promotion of an expertise or niche service. One can be a research person, a consultant. Next, we have retail. That's the selling of products or services, usually on fixed price that can be purchased online. When we say retail, it means to say it can be a per project, per package, per task, per contract. Then third, we have the subscription. It means selling of products or services that can be availed of as a package on a regular basis. It can be daily, weekly, monthly, and even quarterly or annually. So, what are the popular online professional skills? So we have here a list. We've got virtual assistant, data entry, transcription, customer support, graphics design, web development, content writing, email marketing, search engine marketing, and social media marketing. To start with, we have the virtual assistant. When we say a virtual assistant, this means to say that the VA provides various services to entrepreneurs or businesses from a remote location. For example, in my case here, I'm in the Philippines, and my first clients were from Singapore, from Canada, and the United Kingdom. So I work for them and provide various services according to their needs. Next, we've got data entry. When we say data entry, you just maybe encode, type, or convert the scanned document to even like a written form. For example, you have to this scanned document you have to input it in a word processor document or maybe a spreadsheet or Excel sheet. Then we have transcription. When we say transcription, you have to transcribe or put into a written form. For example, right now I'm a resource person here. If I will say that please transcribe this presentation for me, so basically what I'm saying right now, that VA or that professional will transcribe it for me. Then next we've got customer support. Customer support is very common, especially for those with products or services. Maybe it can be a pre-sales or even on sale and even after sales. So if you've got questions, you want to return a product, you've got queries, you've got complaints, it's really very nice to talk with someone, right? Then of course you have graphics design. This is one of my favorite. Like me, I'm into graphics design using Canva, even Adobe Photoshop. So these are my favorites. I'm sure some of you here also would be inclined into designing these things. Maybe like a banner, a tarpaulin, social media post, even logos, and even maybe cards, greeting cards. Then we've got web development, wherein you will be tasked to develop a website. Basically, what we have here right now is number one is WordPress. The WordPress, a content management system. Wherein in this website, maybe you'll be the one to develop it and put it online. And in example for WordPress, for example, there can be multiple users, maybe like an admin, super administrator, maybe editor. So you can have different levels of the users of the system or of the content management system. Then we've got content writing, which is also one of my favorite. You know, when maybe you just write content for people or for your client. It can be academic, you know, it can even be instructional manuals or even just articles. Then we've got email marketing. When we say email marketing, this means that you have to increase the return of investment by creating emails that capture the audience attention. So basically, I'm sure you're very familiar with it that even me, for example, I receive a lot of email, like every day, like maybe more than 10 emails. So there are some entrepreneurs or businesses that they regularly email me. For some of them, maybe every day, for some once a week or maybe twice a week, but it's really regular. So that's email marketing. Then we've got search engine marketing. When we say search engine marketing, these are tactics used to gain online presence and traffic via paid or unpaid strategies on search engines such as Google. Of course, most of us are here in Google, but of course, there are also other search engines like Bing and even Yahoo. Then finally, we've got the social media marketing. When we say social media marketing, of course, it means social media or social networks to market a company's products or services. So it's also very common for virtual assistants or who are into social media marketing that we manage like social media pages of people, of companies, of products, maybe not only Facebook, but even LinkedIn and maybe Twitter, Instagram, among others. So any social media channel. So of course, for the skill, we need advanced training. We've got to learn, be competent, attend training, have the ability for growth, experience, and of course, be knowledgeable in these things. So basically, for a beginner, we start being a virtual assistant, maybe like a data entry, then transcriber, for example. Then we go up the ladder. We specialize in some things like this one, the graphics design, maybe web development, content writing, and of course, social media marketing. I remember before I had this Canadian client, I was working for him as a content writer. Then he asked me, "Hey Claire, if you only knew, if you only knew website development using Word, I don't have to hire two freelancers." That's what he told me. So there and then, I tried to, learn WordPress. At least I was already using Joomla before, and then when WordPress came, it was not very difficult for me to, you know, learn this new content management system. So and that's it. And of course, for some also, I've also been into graphics design, wherein I design a tarpaulin and brochure for our hotel that's in Cebu City. So sometimes a virtual assistant, there are a variety of tasks that can be done, okay? Especially for Filipino VAs, maybe we can manage a Shopify store or other stores, talk to clients, set up meetings, book the maybe for example for your client if let's say he or she will be traveling, so you have to book for him or her. You even buy coffee. Anything can be done online. Okay. So, what are the benefits? So we have here three types of people. First, as an employee, what's the task of an employee, as a freelancer, and as an entrepreneur. So to start with, as an employee, if we notice, an employee, they have a fixed salary and benefit, fixed salaries and benefits for, let's say, annually. But of course, there's a security of tenure. For example, for government employees or even those working in private companies, they have got a contract, and if they become a permanent employee, then they enjoy all these benefits like the health benefits, maybe housing benefits, even loans. So it's also very good, if you just wanna, be laid back, you're not into really a challenging lifestyle or life, just want to just be there, be secure in your work. But of course, there's a steady and budgeted income. So whatever you earn, whatever is your contract with that company, that's your income. For example, it can be twice a month, just like here in the Philippines. People are either paid every 15 days, like the 15th and 30th of the month, or 10th and 25th. So it depends upon the company. Some are paid on a monthly basis, but of course, it's fixed. Maybe there can be a little differential for overtime, but your salary, it's fixed. Basically, as an employee, you work hard for your boss. So basically, you will report to someone else, like a boss, maybe your director, then maybe your president, or your department chief, or your head of your department. But of course, there are also promotions available. But you have a boss or supervisor. You cannot just work on your own or just go home anytime you like. If you'll go home, then you have to be absent in that certain day or certain maybe half day. Then there's a job description. So there's a certain task that you have to accomplish, and basically, or most of the time, it's a uniform. I mean to say a regular description that this is your job. It's a regular routine for you to do. Of course, there are also deadlines, especially if it's a private or even public companies. I mean, public government offices. There are deadlines. We have to get the accomplishment reports. We have to get these targets, and you have to really work for it. And there's no freedom. As I said earlier, you cannot just say I quit. So no. So you have to really commit to whatever your job description is or what is assigned to you. Okay. Then next we have got a freelancer. Of course, a freelancer most of the time they don't have their own salaries and benefits because they just work as a freelancer. So they try to find clients, work on a regular basis. But of course, for some freelancers, they're also hired as a maybe like not really regular employee, but they become permanent employees online. But still, there's no fixed salary or benefits, especially working at the international market. Of course, there's no security of tenure. I have a friend. He had been working for a certain company in the United Kingdom for 6 years, and then, according to him, maybe they just have a little argument with his boss, and he got fired. So there's no security of tenure. Even if you're very good, they can just hire you and fire you at the same time. Then there's no steady budgeted income because it's usually per hour or per project, for some per month on a monthly basis. And of course, you work for your profits. So the more jobs you get, the more contracts, the more proposal, then that's it. You work for profit. Next, you are the boss. Of course, you're your own boss. No, there's no supervisor looking and monitoring on you. But of course, you also work for yourself. You can do the job you want. Unlike an employee, whatever is given, you have to work for it. But for the freelancer, you can just find your own niche. You can find your own market and maybe what type of job you'd like to work on, and then you can apply to this company. But of course, you set the deadlines, and there is freedom as a freelancer. Then next, you've got the entrepreneur. When you say entrepreneur, of course, there's no salaries and benefits because you're your own boss also. There's no security of tenure, no steady budgeted income, especially during this pandemic. Of course, for the health sector, the entrepreneurs here, it was a boom time for them. But for the other sectors, just like, for example, for the hotels and the travel industry, it was really very sad. But at least they're recovering right now. Okay, of course, you work to build your business as an entrepreneur. You are your own boss. You work to sustain and grow your business. That's why most entrepreneurs, they are really hands-on to whatever their product, services, or what they want to promote. You do the job you want. Of course, you're the boss. Next, you delegate. So, for example, if you are an entrepreneur, successful one, then maybe you can delegate your other tasks. You can hire freelancers. You can employ people, and of course, you set the deadlines. And there is freedom because, as I said earlier, you are your own boss. So it depends upon you if you want to be an employee, you want to be a freelancer, or an entrepreneur. But for me, for example, I would love to be an entrepreneur. Okay, but of course, take note, not everyone can start at a business level, but we can identify where we want to go in the future. So I said you can be an employee, an honor professional, or an entrepreneur. So the choice is really yours. So there's a famous quote that says, if you want to focus entrepreneurship, you have to be ready for the consequences. Of course, especially if you are just startup or you're just starting, it might be very difficult because you have to work on your own. Then maybe you have a partner, or you're a solopreneur, so you have to do everything. Maybe from the product, conceptualization, then maybe delivery and answering to queries, doing the accounting books, and of course maybe collection and everything in between. Because you have to be ready for whatever consequence you have there. So you have to study hard also as an entrepreneur, right? So what should we do? We have to specialize and become an online professional. There are different reasons why an individual would like to become an online professional. However, not everyone is cut off for it. So, you will need to be first willing to work at flexible hours. Basically, we have to take note that, for example, if you are working for US clients, maybe that time difference is like 12 hours. So if it's 9 o'clock in the morning in our case here in the Philippines, maybe it's 9 o'clock in the evening in some parts. But of course, if it's example, if like me, I'm a Filipina and I can work for Singaporean clients or maybe Chinese and even United Kingdom, although there's also a time difference. But Australia, more or less, you have the same time. So you really have to be flexible depending on the working hours of your client. Of course, your client can adjust to you. You have to adjust by the client. I remember before when I had a Canadian client, so basically I work from him. I worked from him from 11 in the evening Philippine time up to 6 o'clock in the morning. I think by that time my 11 o'clock in the morning was just like maybe a 6 o'clock in the morning on their side. So there's really a big time difference. So it's really very important even when you start applying for jobs. Be very sure what type of clients you want to work with. I mean, the place, it also matters a lot. Next, we have to spend working time mostly alone and talk to peers online. So basically, if you're an introvert, this is for you. But as an extrovert, you want to be with people, you might have to think twice. But it still depends upon what you'd like to do in your life or what type of job you want to go and work on. So basically it's alone because especially right now during the pandemic that most people they just work from home. So you just talk to your peers online. You collaborate, you join meetings, but most of the time you're alone. You cannot eat with your, colleagues or friends. Maybe you can just eat online together. Okay. Then number three, when you start handling a good number of online jobs, your social life will also be affected. Of course, I know of friends that they have 2 to 3 jobs and they would just sleep like 4 hours a day. Wow, Superman. So it also depends upon if you want to have more income, you have more projects, it might affect your life also, your social life. That's why for freelancers, it's also very, very important to really take care of our health because as what it says, health is wealth. It's really true you've been working hard and you've got this big income, but what if you get sick? You're admitted in the hospital. You know, your income might be depleted. That's why it's also very important. Now, before I forget that, even if you're a freelancer, for example, you should have your own maybe insurance, a healthcare provider, so at least if ever you get sick, you still have income. I mean, you'll be able to cope up with the expenses in the hospital, for example, or maybe laboratory examinations. Next, if you can lose projects, hence the need to be actively seeking for opportunities. As the saying goes, you cannot put all your eggs in just one basket. That's why for freelancers, even if they have a full-time job or a part-time job, they still try to look for other jobs or other job opportunities. So you cannot just say, I work for this person full-time, so you have to, find other clients, even if you're working on a client. But be sure you'll be able to deliver also. Then next, you may also fail to meet client expectations at time. Thus, the need to recover from it. Some clients they are so demanding, of course, especially they're paying you big time. So you have to be very careful that do not commit if you are not sure that you'll be able to deliver it. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So it says here there are endless opportunities, especially the freelance world. There are a lot of hiring, lots of proposals that need freelancers, but of course, it all depends on your skills and what niche you have. So just be motivated, there's a global opportunity for all of us. So Are you ready to get started? So, what would you need? Number one, you should be committed. It's really, really very important. You cannot just say to your client, "Hey, I'm really sorry I was not able to accomplish the task. Can you give me like a week or two?" It should not be the case. You have to be committed. When you say you will deliver it on this time, you have to deliver it. I remember also before when I had a Singaporean client and I was working on a project and the client only gave me 2 weeks for 10 articles. So, at night I really have to work very hard, to really deliver all these projects. But as I said, because I'm committed to it, and of course, I cannot just let my client down because when we set a deadline, that's the deadline. Then we really have to work on it. Next, you have to go to attitude, You'll be always like, you're always active, you're ready to work on projects, because if we are lazy, then we might better not accept any project at first. Okay, you have to got the go-to attitude. You're really up to it. You're very positive and you're on the go. Next, you have to have your own computer or laptop with a decent internet connection. So right now, I have read over the internet from some forums and friends that the minimum requirement here, even in the Philippines, is a Core i5 computer or laptop, and of course a decent internet connection. For some other friends, basically they even have two or they have a redundant internet connection. So they've got a connection to this network and another one to another network. So that just in case this will bug down or there will be a problem with the connection, they have another backup. Okay. Next, we should have a headset and webcam for interviews. This is very important because I remember also one time when I also another Canadian client and he told me, Claire, can you go live? Can I talk with you? So I said, sure. Then when I saw him face to face, he told me that Claire, Filipinos they don't go online. Some freelancers they are weak, and I don't hire them. Oh, so of course because he needs to know right if you're a real person, if you are not just an impostor, and because for example for that client, I was working on his websites because he was also a website company in Canada. So I was working for his website. So he has to make sure that I'm a real person and I'm not a bogus, that I might hack his sites and maybe steal his clients. It's really very, very important to really come online, especially just like me, I'm talking with you right now. It's also very good that you would see my face, right? Than just, I'm talking and you can just see my presentation. It's just like saying you're listening to a radio. But at least here I am. So that's it. Be very aware of these requirements. These are very, very basic. Next, you have to have your skills, knowledge, and abilities. So, of course, to the skill, you have to be a master of one or two skill set. And of course, you have to, continue to expand your knowledge, just like what I'm doing. I've enrolled maybe in Coursera, digital marketer, and other certifications because you have to upskill, and learn all these new trends, especially in digital marketing. You also have to have attitude, work, and business ethics. Very important. I remember there was also one story about this Filipina. She was hired by an artist, like I mean, an artist who was into painting. Sorry, who was into painting, and it was something like they had a little problem with her. Maybe I think they don't like to hire her or renew her contract, and then this lady got angry and she deleted I think the Facebook or the Facebook account of this client, the Facebook page account, and oh, it's so sad to know about this story. And then so fortunately, this client she filed a case against that freelancer. So it's really very important. We have to have a good and positive attitude, and of course, business ethics. Next, we have to have our network, family, friends, and friends of friends. So basically, we have to tell our family that, hey, daddy, hey, mommy, hey, sister, hey, brother, hey, husband, or hey, wife, I'm into freelancing, I need your support. Please don't bother me on these times. Because sometimes, if we are a freelancer and then when we work from home, people, even me before when I was working from home, my children would tell me, hey, mama, can you cook for us? They feel that you are just there the whole time. So there should also be a discipline and to tell your network that you have to tell your network that if I'm working, then maybe just have to, pause for a while. Don't disturb me as I work from these hours. It's just like I'm working in the office. even if I'm working at home. There should be the same arrangement, the same setup. And of course, you have to have a systems and procedures or the SOP in place. You cannot just say, I'll just sleep the whole day and sleep the whole night, sleep the whole week. So you have to put a system in it, especially if you've got lots of clients. Okay, so for a starter toolkit, for an employee, you have to decide what skill or service you want to offer. That's very important. A very maybe specific one or two skill sets or service that you want to offer. You have to update your resume or your curriculum vitae, your CV. It should be updated, of course, before you apply. You have to search for virtual assistant agency sites. You have to create your profile, optimize it, make it complete. Then check out job vacancies that you want to apply to. Maybe you can just, we'll be discussing it later about maybe like in Upwork, online jobs PH, even in LinkedIn. So you have to check out these job vacancies. And of course, prepare for an interview. As a freelancer, you have to decide on for your niche. So maybe to graphic design, search engine marketing, search engine optimization, website development, graphic design, maybe to medical, transcription, or just focus on a niche. Then ready your profiles, portfolio, brand. As a freelancer, you should have your own website, your social media page also. Search for online opportunities. You also have to be visible, offer value online, then build your authority. Be an expert in your field. Build your marketing strategy. Use tools like Trello, G Drive, Toggle. Prepare for discovery session or discovery call wherein you initially talk with your client and try to see if you're a good fit and if you'll be able to deliver the project required. Of course, we also have the contracts and payment gateway. So you have to prepare a contract, be sure it is signed, and how you will receive your payment. Is it through your bank, through online payment channels, and then you just have to transfer your payment. Transfer your salary to your bank account and withdraw it. Then you have to start client work and the project. Start with your client work, and maybe if it's required business permit or BIR registration for your official receipt, because some clients they really ask for this. As an entrepreneur, decide on your business model. Website and social media presence, you should have this. The business permits, the BIR registration. You have to build your marketing strategy. You have to work on it. You have to hire people to leverage work. You have to hire maybe expert in these fields. Social media marketing, maybe content writing to be able to promote your business or your products and services. Then build your company's brand. Perfect your marketing strategy. Use tools like Trello, G Drive, Toggle. Get trained staff or train them. Contracts and payment gateways, this should also be available. Then start the operations proper. Question QA, quality assurance and after sales support. Okay, it's also very, very important. So what are the common tools for online professionals? We have Google Classroom, Gmail, and G Drive. Of course, Gmail is for your emails. That's where you exchange emails with your clients. G Drive is like an online storage of Google wherein you can you can save documents online or upload it online. Then next we have Trello. So Trello is a collaboration tool that organizes your projects into boards. At a glance, Trello tells you what's being worked on, who's working on what, and where someone's in a process. So if you've got this team, so you have to put them all in Trello and give them assignment. You can monitor them one by one. So next is we have the Clockify, Toggle, or T-Metric. For Clockify, it's an online time tracker and timesheet application that works in a browser. So this can be for team of all sizes. Then we've got LastPass, Dashlane, and 1Password. So for LastPass, it's a freemium password manager. When we say freemium, it's free for basic services and premium or paid for additional features that you want to use. Of course, we have another one, the HelloSign or the sign request. So HelloSign, you have to use HelloSign to add legal signatures to documents or request signatures from others. For the free version, we've got 3 signature requests per month. Then next we have the Zoom or Skype. We say Zoom, it's a communication technology company which offers video telephony and online chat. So basically, you'll be using Zoom and Skype, to do your online meeting with your client, to discuss things, and maybe also even coming up with webinars and promotions. And finally, we have Calendly. It's an appointment scheduling software. So for Calendly, you plot your availability preferences, then you share your link to your client, then your client will pick a time schedule from the available preference you have placed. So I also used this before for my coaching program. Wherein the amazing Zolo mothers, they can just book through my Calendly, and also even for my clients, if they want to hop on a discovery call, they can go through my Calendly, my link, and then just book there. So it's just very simple and also very easy. Okay, so we'll now try to explore the basic online tools, but it would be in another video. So I'd like to say thank you so much for watching and joining me today. Bye.